National News. It's 2 o'clock. 3 men were in court today following the shock discovery of more than $35,000 in a laundry bag. All 3 men were remanded in custody until January 19th. They're facing charges of possessing Indian hemp, of selling the drug, and of having suspected stolen goods in their possession. The men are Ian Raymond Steed, Dennis Christopher Bevan, and Mark Carson Jones, all aged 27, of Stewart Street, Collaroy. The money in the laundry bag came to light after a woman dropped the washing in at a Collaroy laundrette. A high school on the outskirts of Sydney has been damaged by fire. The blaze started this afternoon in a Doonside High School at the corner of Power and Hill End Streets. It badly damaged the top floor of the school before it was extinguished by firemen from 3 stations. The pop group Abba is to give 2 concerts in Sydney instead of 1. Organisers of the group's tour next March say they were worried about the fans. One concert by the Swedish foursome would have attracted up to 40,000 people, which was far too many. Concerts are now set down for March 4th and 5th in Sydney. The Australian film Caddy has been sold in Britain. The sale was announced by the Australian Film Commission today. It says the price was the highest ever paid in Britain for an Australian movie. Caddy, which stars Helen Morse, has already been sold to a number of European countries, but not to the United States. A Melbourne pharmacist says a quarter of all drugs given to patients in Australian public hospitals either go to the wrong patient or are given at the wrong time. The Federal Secretary of the Society of Hospital Pharmacists, Mr. Barry Miller, says patients are at risk for a number of reasons.
The problem is the sort of systems that are being used to get medication to the patient. And this system involves a number of different people handling the preparations to the patient level. And I think it's quite clear that when it has to go through a number of hands, and these people are busy people, then mistakes can occur. If you've read or tried to read various of doctors' writings, the different drugs that are available that have the same or similar sounding and names and similar, when you scroll them down, they look similar, then this is where mistakes can occur and do occur.
The Minister for Consumer Affairs, Mr. Einfeld, has hit out at the state opposition leader, Sir Eric Willis, over bread prices in New South Wales. He said today that Sir Eric was a tool of the bread manufacturers. Yesterday, Sir Eric called on the state government to drop all restrictions on the price of bread. He said if free competition were allowed, the price would come down in no time at all. The New South Wales Supreme Court has refused bail to a 20-year-old man who's alleged to have recruited couriers to bring cannabis into Australia. The man, Michael Robert Croker of Double Bay, has been charged on 2 counts under the Commonwealth Crimes Act. The Crown prosecutor told the court that Croker had recruited people to bring Buddha sticks into Australia in specially designed suitcases. Croker was remanded in custody till January 27th. Relatives of a young woman in Queensland are undergoing blood tests in a bid to save her life. 21-year-old Mrs. Shirley Ryan of Mount Isa has a rare disease known as aplastic anemia. The disease results in a shortage of white blood cells, and Mrs. Ryan urgently needs a transfusion. Doctors say it's not likely that a donor will be found outside Mrs. Ryan's family. She was flown to Brisbane last June for treatment, and her husband Kevin has taken a flat opposite the hospital. Sydney's weather: mild, partly cloudy, moderate to fresh southeast winds, a few showers, chiefly overnight, slight to moderate seas on the low swell. In Sydney at the present time, it's 25 degrees, and that's 1 above normal. Macquarie National News in association with The Sun. This is 2GB. I'm Rob Lynch, and at 2:04, you're up to date. Thank you, Rob. We are indeed up to date. Did you happen to read in the paper this morning that a blind 18-year-old student, Michael Corrigan of Cooks Hill in Newcastle, was in the top 20% of successful New South Wales 1976 higher school certificate candidates? That's pretty good, I think. It says that Michael used Braille textbooks and tape recordings in his year's study for the exam at the Maris Brothers High School of Hamilton. Our sincere congratulations to Michael. What a fantastic effort. And I think if a blind boy can study like that, he deserves to go a long, long way. Our congratulations, Michael, indeed. Let's have some music. The Eagles with New Kid in Town. Time, just on 10 minutes past 2.
Out of the sky they hurl and come, a drone of mozzies on the run. But when they get this low, they'll be okay. More team kills mozzies before he can say. More team, just a sprain, it killed him dead. It keeps on working when the family's in bed. Day or night, King Red can't be beat. There won't be a mozzie on his feet. More team. sprayer, it kills them dead. No wonder they call it Team Red. More team.
Here's Australia's greatest cricketer up for a social game with the boys. What style, what panache. You wouldn't think he'd forget anything, would you? But there he goes. Hey, knucklehead, you forgot the air guard.
Oh, no.
You can't concentrate on your cricket or enjoy the barbecue after the game with flies, mosquitoes, and insects buzzing around. So be wise, like our hero. Remember the air guard before you go. Take the air guard and have a good cricket.